We officially live streaming, so on you or more.
All right, what's good? What's good, everybody? It's your girl, I am More. And of course, I have the other host, Bryant, which I also call Boo, which is also Mason. This man got a lot of names. But nevertheless, here we are, New Era 410 Podcast. This is an exclusive episode that we have with the wonderful, the media man himself, Mr. Black Stan. How you doing, Stan?
How you doing, More? What's going on, guys? How's everybody doing on the New Era 410 Podcast?
Excellent.
We good. So we're glad to have you. We're very honored to have you. But for our viewers, let them know exactly who Black Stan is.
Black Stan, I've done a little bit of I ain't gonna say everything, but I've done A&R work. I work closely with Baltimore artists in the city. I blog, write-ups. I mean, pretty much whatever you need me for when it comes to the industry as far as like music or entrepreneurship. I mean, I'm there for you. I mean, my main thing lately has been, just covering events and stuff like that, interviewing artists, and as well as doing my podcast as well, called Several Questions with Stan, where I interview artists like Amore and just try to elevate people in the city. I mean, because exposure is everything. It's a good part of it. I mean, talent's one thing, but exposure, got to have exposure. Without exposure, you're just making music.
Facts. So in regards to like the exposure part, like what is like one of the, let's say the top 3 things that an artist could do to get some exposure, some good exposure?
Well, posts are one thing. It seems so many artists, they'll post. I'll say this, they'll have their personal page. Like me, I have my separate page for my personal page for people who know who I am personally. But you also have your business page and stuff like that. And then when you post to your business page or your artist page or whatever, just make sure that it's content. I mean, you could do a skit with somebody, you can post your music. It's just too many artists to be like, follow my page, and then you go to that page, and the last time they post was like 4 months ago. It's like, you have to keep that stuff consistent, post, interactions. Your interactions will get better as you post more. So that's number one. Mm-hmm. Number 2 will probably be like, just get your whole EPK together. If you got somebody that that takes pictures, I know I'm always dabbling in that and stuff like that. Just if it's a photo shoot, anything, all of that stuff goes into your EPK, means electronic press kit. Put your stuff in, like, get your EPK together. So when the big wigs come calling, it's basically a digital resume. You have your body of work set up, and everybody can see that he's done photo shoots, or he's connected with this person, or that goes into politics. I'll get into that. And I think number 3 would be stay humble. Mm-hmm. Stay humble and go to the showcases. I know at first I wasn't a big proponent of the showcases, but you have to have an arena where you practice, or because it's one thing to get into the studio and record and stuff like that, and nobody's around, you're just in the studio. But it's another thing when you get up on stage and your in studio ain't matching your live performance. Mm-hmm. That happens a lot. Mm-hmm. So that would be my big 3 right there. Is your social media interaction, your EPK, which is your digital resume, and just stay humble. Stay down till you come up. Don't get big headed before you. Ain't nobody pumping helium in your head right now. And just don't get big headed, which I experience a lot. I see that a lot.
I definitely had a question. I had a question I wanted to ask you. We see a lot of times in the music industry where artists get so big and everything, and then they have like these contract disputes where maybe they had a 360 contract, or like, how do people get like caught up in those type of situations where they're having to like buy out their self in the contract? Or like, what's your perspective on people signing bad contracts? Is it just like not having good like management, or what do you think?
Well, and from my vantage point and my opinion, and I love using metaphors, so you'll hear me say it a lot in doing this interview, but the music industry can sometimes be like the government, where they'll show you something, but something's going on in the back end. So when these artists get caught up in that, they get caught up in especially when it comes to contracts. A lot of these contracts are not good. You know, shout out to my mom. My mom does notary. She showed me how to read contracts and make shit legally binding. But you have these artists that, and I'm trying to use light words, but they get caught up in the women, the fast life, stuff like that. So when they see a contract, it's like, I don't care because this is what I want. But a lot of them either, I don't want to say don't know how to read, or they don't understand the language. So that's how they get caught up in those 360 days. And then when everything comes back, when the recoil comes back, they're like, oh, I didn't agree to that. Yes, you did.
Did, right.
Right.
Didn't read. You know, you're supposed to read everything. You just looked at, you probably looked at the advance. If there was an advance, you probably looked at the perks and all that stuff, but you don't, what's the word I'm looking for? Labels use it all the time. The rees, I don't know why this word is leaving me right now, but when it's time, recoup. When it's time for the recoup, artists don't understand the recoup. They only understand the front end. And most of them get caught up with everything that's the front end is usually in big bold letters that you can see. You're gonna get this up front, you're gonna get this, you're gonna get this. The recoup is always in fine print.
Yeah.
It's always on the line, like, you know, and a lot of artists don't even go down that far. They just see what they're gonna get right now. They know they're gonna get a chain. They know they're gonna get access to this place. They're gonna get studio time here. They're gonna meet this person, that person. You know, and they've been in the music industry, I say over the past 5 years, has told artists this, like, listen, labels and stuff like that are only a loan.
Yeah.
It's a loan. It's not a grant. Grants you don't have to pay back. This is a loan. So they're going off of what you've shown them now, which probably isn't a lot, you know what I mean? Because a lot of it nowadays is not even about lyrics and stuff. It's just about talent and exposure, which a lot of people can get.
Right.
But the recoup is sales, streams, stuff like that. And they're like, oh, why they show me on this amount of money? Because you didn't make this amount of streams. Obviously, your fan base wasn't what you thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
So now the recoup comes, and where's all those people that was pumping you up? Because I always say this, and Amore's heard me say this a lot. There's a difference between fans and followers. Big difference. Your followers are the ones that probably got you into those meetings because the A&Rs and the managers and all them execs, they're looking at those interactions beforehand. So now your fans are the ones that handle your recoup. They're going to be the ones that stream your album, that paid us X amount of dollars to go to your streams and get your streams up and actually make money for you. So that's where a lot of artists mess up. They mess up on the front line. They don't understand the recoup. So that's where a lot of artists mess up at, in my opinion.
Right. And it's so crazy because you would think that, like, well, me naturally, if I get any type of contract, I'm getting my lawyer to read it. I'm not going to try to, if that's not my lane, I'm not going to try to figure it out myself or just jump. Like, that seems so simple to me. Like, just get a lawyer.
Seems simple. But in all reality, like, let's be real here. Somebody got, boom, they have an opportunity, and Sony wants to sign them. You know what I'm saying? People are just thinking, Sony, I'm going to get some money. They're thinking about the quick dollar. They're not thinking about the deficit that they're first placing themselves in. You're putting yourself already in a negative without even, I'm not going to say not knowing, but being unaware, being, unknowledgeable because you aren't doing something so simple. Read. And if you don't understand, ask questions.
Let's be honest here. A lot of these guys are, and girls now, are from the streets. So the word lawyer or attorney, they don't want to see that stuff in criminal charges. So if you let your lawyer read a lawyer, they know lawyers cost money. Like when they get into trouble, they gotta get a lawyer. Lawyer costs money. So you have artists that try to cut overhead before they have any business. If you're starting a business, it's overhead. It's going to be profits and liabilities. Artists do not like hearing the word budget. They don't like hearing the word liability. All they know is whatever's coming to them. And that selfish mindset in the beginning of your career is where a lot of artists go wrong. And that's why a lot of them don't go to the top. So when you talk about getting a lawyer to read their contract, shit, my mother looked at it. She said it was good. Your mother, you know what I'm saying? Like, your mother, no disrespect, but your mother probably got in trouble back in the day. She don't know how to read contracts. She know as a lawyer, and she had to hire the bail bondsman.
Yeah. And let them do the work.
It probably wasn't even a lawyer. It probably was a public defender. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of these artists, they don't want to deal with legalities. And that's where they mess up at. They mess up on the business part. That's why I always say the business side is the best side, because they mess up on the business side. Everything is bright lights and stages and flashing the advance money, and then that advance money doesn't last for long. And then once that money's gone, the groupies are gone. Once the groupies are gone, it's just like, oh shit, you back to where you started from. The more you know this, there's a lot of artists that we both know that they've been through.
Saying nothing.
No, we're not. But it's a lot of artists that I've seen, like, we thought they was going to break that glass ceiling that Baltimore has,
and they hit that head and came right back down.
Yeah,
I've seen it too.
Yeah, they didn't get close. You know, they didn't even get to the ceiling. They didn't get close to the glass ceiling to break it. They didn't cut the DJs off. They didn't play their tracks. They spend too much time depending on their homeboy manager. And there's a lot of them that have homeboy managers. So when you're talking about you can get your manager, like most managers that are really about their business understand how to read contracts, because that's their angle, that's their business. They're supposed to be able to tell the artist, like, look, this ain't a good deal. We need to go somewhere else and this and the third. But if you got your day one, your sandbox, you know what I'm saying? He's reading your contract. Shoot, he didn't pass the grade no faster than you did. So how you gonna get him to read it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He just with it because he know he can get to the club with you off of your name, and he popping bottles and stuff like that, and probably still skimming off the top.
Mm-hmm.
He probably just a tad bit smarter than you. So that I can speak on that too. Like the homeboy managers, I see it a lot. You know, you got the whole, like, oh, don't talk to me, talk to my manager. Oh yeah. Oh, this your manager right here? Oh, what's up, man? How you doing? Oh yeah, I'll follow you. You go to that manager's page. There's nothing on there about the artist. It's only the man
got like bookings in their bio and stuff.
no link tree, no Eventbrites, no nothing. All you see is the manager popping bottles and what he doing. Right. I'm like, so who's the artist here? Is it the manager or you? He's living better than you is. So it's just, that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And like I said, like, shout outs to all the DJs that I know and all the DJs I don't know. Shout outs to the DJs, period. Shout outs to the producers. Shout outs to everybody that tries their hardest to make the engine that is the artist move. But a lot of times that they put all that work in for nothing. That's why you have a lot of these DJs, these art and these producers that don't even want to mess with artists no more. They don't want to touch them no more. It's like, why am I wasting my time? Because you're dragging. It's one thing to drag in the streets, but if you're trying to attain something bigger than what you're doing, you got to want it for yourself. I myself, that's why I said I did A&R work before, but I quit that shit. I got back on that because there's too many diva artists out here who think they're somewhere right now and they're not. I've been to more cities than they have.
That's crazy.
Crazy is not the word, but what's even more crazy is the scene of hip hop right now. Like, why do you think that it's so bad? Do you feel like it's tainted, or do you think that there's like some hidden jewels in it?
There's hidden jewels. I just feel as though a lot of artists lost their way and they decided to ball up the paper that was the blueprint to getting it. Mm-hmm. Oh, they've seen other people. See, everybody's gonna get their own way. But lately, a lot of people are trying to get the one way, you know, and there's multiple ways of getting noticed and getting signed. And all, I mean, ultimately, the blueprint actually has changed. It has changed. I mean, you have a lot of artists that don't need a label. They don't need Right. They don't need that. You know, they are their own. You can make it now independently. I mean, shoot, Lord John was showing them the way back then, but nobody wanted to listen.
Mm-hmm.
Lord John stayed independent. Everybody like, well, Lord John was signed to. He had a production deal with somebody. But as far as Lord John and the East Side Boys and anybody that was on their albums and stuff like that, that was all him. So, I mean, you might get help with distribution. That might be one thing, but now we got streams, so you ain't got to worry about CDs and albums and stuff like that. You know, you go to what is that? BMI and get they got the artist account, but they also have the other account. You get that, and boom, you're your own distributor. You know, come up with a logo. You can be your own label. You can be your own distribution company. You can have 3 LLCs and all of them be tied to you. So it's just, sometimes it becomes a matter of being lazy. So that's why that's why I think a lot of artists lost their way, because everything got easy and they got lazy. The hard work and dedication that it took to get to the top is no longer there.
Man, I'm a super music fan, man. I never heard music this bad before. Like, usually you have 1 or 2 artists that you kind of like, what the hell are they doing? But it seemed like everything is gimmicks. Everything is over sexualized. Everything is just to a point where you don't even really like appreciate. Like, when I was coming up, 90s baby, you felt the music. You can be able to pop a certain CD in when you're going through depression or hard times, or like, man, my homeboy was talking about this yesterday. When we was coming up, you had Jeezy and Boosie and all them. They was talking about hustling. They made us want to, get money and stuff like that. Now the music is teaching us how to use the drugs instead of sell the drugs. You get what I'm saying? Or it's just so weird to me, man. It make me feel like, dang, am I getting old? But I really honestly feel like the game is really like lacking substance in a lot of ways.
It is. It is. And a lot of time, and everything that you just talked about, they blanket all that stuff up and call it pain music.
Yeah, pain to my ears. Yeah.
But who's going through the pain? The artist or the listener? Because like you said, you listen to something that want to motivate you and hustle, but now I'm listening to pain music. So now I'm sitting up there with my whatever I drink, my Henny and my Xannies, and we like, yo, shit fucked up. Your life is just crazy, yo. So right. Listen to pain music, stuff like that, but it's not motivating. Like you said, it don't. A lot of music don't move me, and I've sat in meetings and stuff like that, and I've listened. I've sat there with. I had the privilege of sitting next to A&Rs who actually get people signed, and we sitting there listening to the same person. I mean, I had one story. I'm not gonna name the artist, but I endorsed them. I pumped them up. I'm like, yo, your music is, yeah. After like 2 or 3 songs, get them in front of the meeting. Oh, you got the songs? Yeah, I got the songs. Hey, play them. Completely switched all the songs that he let me hear. This exec now, and he's looking at me like, and I'm like, no, the fuck, he just didn't do this. Oh, and every song sounded the same. The cadence was the same. And then he happened to use that auto-tune stuff. Every like
hate it, man. I hate it.
And it's like you said, it's no substance there, but it's become so easy. Well, I'm not gonna say but it's been easy for some. And everybody, and the ones that it became easy for, everybody else is trying, well, maybe I can go down that blueprint because it's harder. I mean, because it's easier. I don't have to deal with Listen, it's good to have 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 local DJs in your back pocket.
Absolutely.
3 producers, maybe more, in your back pocket. A couple of videos. You know what I'm saying? I have another saying that I know more have heard me say a lot on my live. It's a difference between a helping hand and a handout.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of these artists, they be like, "No, Stan, I'm good. I don't take handouts. I'm getting this out the mud." No, you're stuck in the mud because you're confusing a helping hand with a handout. And a hand is not necessarily like me just feeding you or just showing. I'm trying to show you how to fish, or I'm showing you something that I might know that you don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm not looking for nothing back, because I know once you do make it, you know what I'm saying, all I might ask for is an exclusive interview with you. Like, yo, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna be like, oh, yo, remember when I did this for you? Then I'm just gonna be like, yo, you should know. Right. It's an understanding. You know what I mean? That's when you deal with, that's when you know you've come of age and you're dealing with, I mean, not so much as grown folk, but just adult people understanding the business mindset. So yeah, like I said, there's a difference between a helping hand and a handout. And too many of these artists get it confused and stuff like that. You'll turn down something from like an interview right now with you guys. They will turn you down, but they'll go holler at somebody else that they'll do an interview with them and they won't even play it. It's not streaming nowhere. It's nothing. You can't add it to your EPK. It means nothing. But they did that interview with that person because they know that person through the hood.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we deal with that now.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
We deal with that now. So I feel you on that.
And even like piggybacking off what you're saying with the handout, or, you know, and stuff like that, is like meeting you. When I met you, you know what I mean? It was a thing where I was the new kid on the block in a sense, you know what I mean? And I just was like, hey, I got this, I do music. You know, I want y'all to listen to my music on that type of thing. And I'm not normally a person that be like, hey, you know, my name's Amor and I'm an artist. But really, it just took that time. I can't hear you, Stan. So I don't know what you said.
I'm saying, but you came ready.
I did. But you know what? I'm so hard on myself sometimes as an artist. I don't even think most of the time I don't look like, I don't feel like I'm ready. But I know that I have the tools. You know what I'm saying? But there's a difference between having the tools and using them and just having the tools and not.
Right. But that's why I took you seriously in the beginning, because you had your picture on there, you had the QR code with the link. I'm like, damn, like, I should. And I'm looking at my artist. I'm like, why the hell you ain't doing that shit? Why you ain't doing that? You see this? Why we not doing that? We gotta get you some QR codes. So that's why, I mean, when I first met you, that's why I took you so serious. I'm like, oh, she on her shit. And one thing is, I love to meet an artist on that thing, but the fact that you were a female too made it even better. Like, and then when I heard your songs, I'm like, oh my God, like, yes, like she got it together. Like you came at, like, you do what a lot of artists don't do. You to just say, yo, follow me, yo. You go to that dude page, he probably only got 2 posts on there. Ain't from 6 months ago. There's no QR code. There's no previous music that they put out. Oh, you got some songs already out? Yeah, I got some songs out, but they're not out right yet. But I'm like, how long ago did you record them? Like, and I'm not, without flying off the handle, but I'm saying, like, that's why I so seriously, is because you came at me professionally in the beginning. You already had your ducks in a row. Even if you didn't have them in a row, you presented yourself like you did.
A lot of fake it till you make it, y'all. Fake it till you. But don't be faking it a lot, because facades don't last, right, Stan? Facades don't last.
Oh, you wasn't faking it though. You had it in order, like you said.
Yeah. All right, my boy. I appreciate y'all.
You had a picture on there, the same picture that's on the cover of her first project, or the project that I know of. It's that picture, right? I'm like, yeah, and she had the crown on and stuff. I'm like, yo, this sounds like something, you know what I mean? And then I got to see you live perform and stuff like that, and I was drawn in.
It was the shorts. It was the shorts.
No. I seen you perform way before the shorts. Way before the shorts, I seen you perform. The shorts is what took me over the top. But no, it's I heard your music and stuff like that, and then your energy on stage matched your professionalism studio wise, and we don't get that from a lot of artists. Don't y'all guys hate? And I'm sorry, because I know y'all interviewing me, but don't y'all guys hate the voiceovers? How many showcases y'all done been to where as though the lyrics are rapping for the artist? Artist not even rapping.
A lot.
Even concerts.
He's listening to the background song, or he might put the mic down and no.
I do hate that. And they never knew their lyrics.
I got cussed out before from, like I said, Stanley, next time you bring somebody music to me, or you introduce me to a video, because I do vlogging and stuff like that. So when I don't just record those videos just to post them on my page. Like that is like, I take that to people. I in the short time that I've been doing this, I've been able to connect with people out of the city and stuff like that have prominent roles and big industry and big labels and stuff like that. And if they wanted to take me seriously as an A&R, I got to bring them something that actually works for them. But then I show them that and they're like, Stan, do not send me nothing where as though the artist is not even rapping. Look at that. Half the damn song, he didn't even have the microphone to his mouth. You know what I'm saying? It's good. It's all good. Like I said, it's all fine and dandy when you're in the studio. But a lot of artists don't understand that live performances play a big part and you make it to the next level, because if you can't rock a crowd of 25 to 30 and let's say somewhere like the Garage or more, then how the hell am I going to take you to South by Southwest where it's 30, 40,000? It's not going to fly there. You're not going to buy that. You ain't going to open up. You're not even going to open the popcorn man. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to open up for none of the vendors there. You just there. Like, thank y'all. Follow me on. Man, anybody follow you nowhere. I'm going to follow you right off the clip.
Hey, yo. So I was saying, like with your success and stuff, right? Like, what would you say was probably like the biggest failure, and what did you learn from that experience?
I won't say it's my biggest failure. I don't consider it a failure yet, but my one of my biggest downers was something like what I was just talking about. Like when I was doing A&R and I was dealing with artists, and I went into those meetings, and when I was in Philly, and then I had a couple in New York when I went up there, and I took artist music, and sometimes I had the artist with me, and the talking to that I got, and it was almost like a parent thing, where you got these guys that have been doing this for 15, 20 years. They didn't got all these artists that they had signed and went off to do big things. And they're telling you, so I was a little down about it. They told me what I did wrong and stuff like that, what I need to do better. And only reason why I would say it's a failure, not a failure, but a learning lesson. But failure in the fact that after I had that talking to with those execs, that the people that I was dealing with, I had to leave alone.
Mm.
They didn't want to do nothing to get any better and better themselves as an artist, which is not going to be, is a detriment to me because it's not boosting me up. And a lot of people don't understand, like the people that are trying to help you, especially professionally, their name is attached to you. So right. I consider it a failure because I couldn't get those people that I had so much belief in through the door. So that was my biggest failure. And that's what caused me to kind of fall back on doing the A&R and working closely with the artists and just crossing over to trying to do media, because I just felt as though I'm like, damn, I can't. I don't think I'm done yet with it. It's just I had to step back from it and do a little bit more studying, and media helps that because I'm able to get exposure and meet these artists and network with these artists before I actually like bring them in closer to me and try to put them closer. So if we want to talk about failure, that was my biggest failure, not being able to get the people that I had belief in to through that door and get signed.
I definitely want to add something too. I was thinking about YG Tech. That's one of like my favorite Baltimore artists because I was able to actually watch his come up from when I remember when people was saying like, bro, you don't got the voice for it. Your voice sound like a little squeaky or whatever they used to say. And now everybody love his voice and stuff. But I want to know, like, how do you know when you on?
Oh, yeah. How are you?
Sorry about that. Go ahead. What you was saying? Say it again.
Yeah, but I was pretty much I'm watching him. I watched YG Tech come up and I see all the success that he has and everything right now. And I'm just trying to know, like, how do you know when you on? Because I feel like he on, but I kind of don't feel like he on because maybe I don't see him on the mainstream. But how do you know when you're actually on? Like, what does that look like?
Oh, him. Shouts to him. Shouts to Tech. Shout out to Money Jake. It's a couple of guys like that, and it's hard for me to explain because I'm not in the artist mode. So like even talking about media, I can tell when I'm on. I know I'm not on yet as where I want to be as a media guy, but you'll get because you get the interactions, the following. But he doesn't just have a following. He's one of those guys where, like I said, it's a difference between fans and followers. His followers are actually legitimate fans of his. They're not just following. They're not just on his page, liking his pictures. They're buying. They're going to his concerts. You know, they're going to up there on 25th Street. They're buying his clothes. They're buying his merch. Basically, that's basically his merch.
He's walking now. Thank you.
And that's basically his merch and stuff like that. And that's when you know that you have that. I mean, I know what you're talking about as far as like him ascending and getting some guys. It's crazy because some guys don't. They want to stay, like I said, stay indie. Yeah. And some stay indie, it's a longer stride all the way to the top than somebody who gets piggybacked by a bigger label and stuff like that. They get the mass media blitz. They get the radio play, the national radio play. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, when we listen to YG Tech, he play on the radio when you're at a club, or he play on the DJ gonna play him. Because another thing is you get in touch. That's why I say stay cool with all the DJs and get networking with all the DJs you can, because you ain't even gotta be in the building.
Right.
That song. Yo, and then somebody gonna come on, who that? Oh, that's YG Tech. Now, when you go to do a live performance, I heard him somewhere else. Now I gotta go see him. He knows how to generate. He knows how to generate the buzz and get people anticipated for him. And that's what I was speaking to earlier when I talk about artists going to showcases and networking with DJs. You have to build up your. I don't know what you look like. I mean, I heard your song. It was okay, but now I want to see more from you. See, that's that hustle mentality. He just knows how to draw them in without getting everything. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, so like Money Jake, he had this song Models with TMC The Don. You know, I mean, I know he's still working now. I'm not sure if he's signed anybody yet, but he's making, and then too, money. I try to stay away from that. Money. And I'm saying money in the sense of you have to invest in yourself. So another reason why people hone to somebody like a YG Tech is because they see that he invests in himself. You know, that no excuses clothing brand that he has. You know, that was his brainchild. Right. That was how merchandise, and people see when they see the hustle, they're gonna want to be attached to it because they can relate to it. So he makes it where he's doing what he's doing because he's relatable.
Thanks. You feel like he's the closest one out of the Baltimore artists to hit that specific scene?
Yeah, no question. I think right now, like he's still. I mean, back in the day, like you say, you're a '90s baby, but you remember Boss Man?
Of course.
Yeah, who don't?
Boss Man is another one that was right there. Well, he still can be, but you know he's a little older now. But yeah. Boss Man, another one who, I mean, shoot, his song made it to, what was that, NBA Live?
Yeah, it was something else too big that his song made it to too. I remember. Yeah,
so you know, it's networking and not being so cross-armed. You know, when I mean, cross for stop being so defensive, and listen to those people that you might not know. See, so many people, they want to listen to people close to them, the day ones, the homeboy managers. They want to listen to them, and somebody like me will come along. Nigga, who you? I don't know you. Like, you don't know me. But the knowledge and the stuff that I have can help elevate you.
Right.
Not a helping hand. It's not a handout. This is a helping hand. Like it's like you guys. Like, let's just say now, right? You guys are doing what y'all doing. Y'all only on episode 10. You reach out to me for episode 11. I'm like, NewEra410Podcast. Like, what else are these niggas? I don't fucking tell them. Right. You know? But then now, yeah, NewEra410Podcast, we doing our 200th episode anniversary. Oh shit, can I be a part of that? Now you want to be a part of it.
Yeah, right.
you don't want to get in on. It's like too many artists are scared to get it on the ground level, and guys like Tech, like he was Tech, and they were hustlers before they got in the game. But a lot of these artists, MSC, I don't want to say that, but that's where a lot of artists get exposed. That's where they get exposed, believe it or not, because you're not what your rap says. Because if your rap was what it was saying, you would be in the same position these guys are in.
Right.
It ain't there, son. Rap about something, I'll do a party track. And switch up your songs. Like, come on, Amor. How many times have you heard of somebody's EP or somebody's album? Like I just said earlier, like where it sounds like the same track over and over again.
I mean, all you got to do sometimes is listen to the radio, and you can be the judge of it.
Yeah, because you got love. So you got love tracks. Like you can use like just want your time. I just want your time. But then you'll switch it up. But even in that one song, you're singing, but then you're rapping too.
Yeah.
You know, like you have too many artists that are one-dimensional.
You're scared to get out of that box.
Yeah, that's about to say that. They're free.
They're scared to get out there. And it's like, all right, dog, like, no, yo, you know, I make pain music. So that's all you make. You don't want to do a party track, a love ballad. I mean, everybody getting with this drill stuff. You don't want to do a drill. I mean, now everybody want to get a drill song because they see it's hitting. See, people don't want to jump on stuff until it start hitting. They don't want to be leaders and pioneers and be the first to do this. So now you want to jump on a wave. No, like, so that bugs me a lot. It does.
Yeah, like you said, be humble, man. That's what it boils down to a lot of the times, being humble. And I see it so many times, especially like right now, for example, everybody here from Baltimore, the Baltimore club scene right now is like the biggest it ever been. And you kind of see that right now, even in the Baltimore club scene, like they starting to come together. And but you got certain people that got big, and you know, like it's not like a collective thing. It's just a bunch of individual people that's doing their thing. But that's why I love when TMC, the Dawn, and Money Jig did that song together. I love seeing like everybody come together and do stuff. Even when I remember when it was once upon a time we thought Moose was gonna be the next person. And shout out to Tate Cobain. I feel like he don't get enough credit for all of the stuff that he accomplished as a Baltimore artist. He signed to Nicki Minaj. He wrote songs with Beyonce and some of Nicki.
Even Mighty Mark. Shout out to Mighty Mark as well, and TT the artist, because they've been working for a long time as well. And Ernest, like all of that whole group just been grinding, and they continue to grind.
True. And what my man said, he said that Tate Cobain, he wrote too. A lot of these artists, believe it or not, do not write. That's why they forget their lyrics.
Right.
I trying to be on the big pop that, yo, I remember my lyrics. Then you get on stage and you done came in the spot and got busted before you even got on stage. And then, my bad, y'all. I'm a little tipsy right now.
And I thought you were joking when you was like, I'm gonna watch. I think we were at the garage and you said, I'm gonna watch. Somebody's gonna forget their lyrics. I'm like, no, you lying. How's somebody gonna forget their lyrics? You was just like, watch. And by the end of the night, Stan just gave me this look, and I was like, okay, you were right.
I never understood that though.
I told you it was gonna happen.
I never understand how people don't remember the lyrics to something that they wrote. Like, what in the world?
I mean, even if they didn't write it, don't they practice?
No, they don't go. That's what they don't go to. They don't go to showcases. Once they listen, how many times have you sat in the studio before it was your turn for the session? Right? Somebody was in there ahead of you, and they might have to punch in like 50 times first. Oh, record that back. Let me punch in. So if they're punching in that many times in the studio, what makes you think that when they get on stage, it's going to be any different? You can't punch in on the stage. On the stage.
Well, do you think that's why people have tons of people on the stage with them to kind of keep as a distraction, or like, is that a marketing tool? What's the whole ordeal with that?
No, because all right. So like prime example, like I'm an '80s baby. It's like Busta Rhymes, right? He had this guy Spliff Star. Spliff Star trained himself to be the perfect hype man. So when Busta is spitting his lyrics all fast and stuff like that, and he's not forgetting his words, but he might get short of breath. Then Spliff is right there. You got who's on stage. You got hold on.
You don't one right.
Who's on stage with you, but none of them know you. And that's another pet peeve of mine that I hate. You got all these guys on stage with you. You barely know your lyrics, and none of your homeboys even know your lyrics.
None of them don't even be having a mic.
They don't even listen to your song.
Hey,
That's
yo.
how, even the homeboy manager, like I said, the homeboy manager, none of what you produce is on his page. I promote artists more than some of the people that they know.
Yeah.
And I do. I know I do. So when you see that, you're like, damn, yo, like it's all on stage and they just up there dragging, as they say, or whatever the term is. Nobody knows the lyrics. So there's not no actual hype man up there.
So, well, big shout out to Busta Rhymes, man. Because I saw him in person a few weeks ago at the Roots Festival, Roots Picnic. And it was the way that you're describing as regards to Spliff and the hype men and just the energy itself was amazing. And he just received the Lifetime Achievement Award at the BET Awards as well. So big shout out to Busta Rhymes for continuing to be in his bag, man. And just, you can tell that he's passionate about his craft.
That's
even years later.
He's one of my favorites of all time. And speaking, that's why I say, like, when you guys talk about artists forgetting lyrics.
My grandmother used to say, turn the lights off when it starts thundering. It's thundering.
I gotta keep something on. We in the rain. Fuck it. We doing this in the rain right now.
Yes, sir. Exclusive. This only happened when Black Stan come on.
I'm gonna be black.
He bring the thunder.
I'm gonna be a little black on here, but y'all can understand where I'm coming from.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
No, but Busta definitely deserved that award, man. He definitely deserved that.
For sure. For sure. I still be trying to rap his lyrics. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it come out like that. But Busta Rhymes, you're always welcome to come to NewEra410 Podcast, my boy. I'm gonna just throw that out there. So come on.
I try to get him on. If I can get a hold of him and his crew, I try. I'm gonna try to pull some strings. See, I'm still. A lot of people don't understand. Like Black Stan is only. I think in September will be my 2-year anniversary of me starting this. I haven't been doing it. I've only been doing this for like 2 years and stuff like that. So the amount of networking and stuff that I've did in that time, I'm proud of myself of. You know what I mean? So when somebody said I've been doing this for 10 years. Oh, really? And I just laugh. It's funny because I'm not throwing shade. It's just how hard I've worked in those 10 years to where though me and other people like me are catching up. Got you guys doing podcasts now. Shout out to my guy Nico, the Smoke Station. Shout out to Raw Dope Podcast. Shout out to everybody that's doing what they can to try to help artists elevate themselves. We don't get the recognition that we deserve. Not deserve, but that we put in the work.
Right.
And that really means something to me. It's like I said, exposure is one thing, and we help get interactions. This is going to be broadcasted on YouTube. Who doesn't want to get on a podcast that's going to be broadcasted on YouTube? You know what I'm saying?
Be surprised. You'd be surprised. And then they start, how Tupac was when he was at the cookout? Cousin, eventually this is going to happen, And, you can call me your cousin all you want. But like my Tumbo used to say, no. You feel me? So, like you said, be humble. It makes a big difference to everybody, no matter how big or small. I feel like, it's no big guys, no little U's.
And it's funny that you bring up the word cookout because that's why I laugh because it brought up a certain music festival that was a complete fire dumpster.
Would you like to elaborate on that?
Yes, I would love to hear about this.
Okay, so
Whew.
promoters promote. There is a lot of politics in the city, but this one music festival, everybody thought that all the T's were crossed, all the I's were dotted. The lineup was stacked. You know, we had out of towners, we had people that actually had a little emotion down there perform. Everything looked good. I mean, yeah, like you know how you buy some food and look good on the menu, but when you get it, it don't look nothing like it did on the menu. And that's what this music festival was. I'm not even gonna mention the name.
Right.
But Amor was a part of it. I was a part of it. I was supposed to be a media part of the media group that was down there. They had tons of guys down there, tons of media outlets down there. But I wound up hosting when forget the hosting. I'm up there trying to set up the fences and stuff like that. I'm up there working the ticket sales and stuff. I'm like, hold up, I didn't sign up for this. Like, you know, and I was just doing it to help out. But it was just like the organization looked good on paper. But when it came down to putting everything into motion, it was just a complete fire dumpster. And you really got to see the actual politics or lack thereof that go on here in the city of Baltimore. You know what I mean? Amor was supposed to have went on at a certain time. She had to pull out the lawn chair and then she wound up, you know what I mean? You didn't even go on.
Nope. We just had fun doing what we was doing. I will tell artists, like, it's things are what you make it, but sometimes you got to know, go with your instinct. You know, sometimes you got to know, although it may seem like a good opportunity, you got to know when to go with your instinct and when to sometimes say no, you know. But lesson learned, experience is the best teacher. That's all I say. When people ask me about it, I just be like, okay. I don't say anything else. Just okay.
You say
I got some nice pictures that day that I took.
I just watched the event. You watched it, yeah. I watched the event, and it was just like, and the ranking file when it comes to promotion and stuff like that. The ranking file, you got to see the side of it. Like as far as like them putting certain people ahead. I mean, like the person that actually was supposed to have been hosting the second stage.
Went on the main stage.
Yeah, the main stage, but I wasn't supposed to host the second stage. You know, that person that was supposed to host the second stage, he all the way down by the main stage, and he didn't get there till like 2:00. Darn thing started like 9-10 o'clock. He's supposed to have been there, set everything.
We were supposed to be there at 7:00 for sound check. I got there 7:00, and I was told, "Oh, you don't need a sound check." I'm sure I didn't because I didn't perform.
I get there, and I'm on the radio like, "Yo." They gave me a radio and everything. I'm like, "Oh, where he at? Oh, he down here. Why is he down there? He's supposed to be up here." Oh, but just put somebody else on. Just tell somebody else to go on. And then at the end of the day, no, we're just gonna cancel the second stage. Everybody come down here to this stage. I'm like, what? Oh my God. Like, no. So what was we all up here for? Because that second stage was not necessary. If y'all organized stuff the right way, we'd have had artists after artists after artists, little intermission. It was just they put their energy into certain people that day, and I didn't like nothing about it. And then when I got my pay for the whole event, I'm like, I really didn't like it. Like, I ain't gonna say what they paid me, but they cut my throat terribly that day for what I did. By the time I got off, I thought I did a 12-hour shift at Amazon.
You did.
I hate bad business, man. That's one thing about me. I hate bad business. I don't care if it's on a small platform, a big platform. I hate that unorganized stuff. I hate where me taking time out of my day to come and perform for you guys and I never get on stage. I'll be pissed at things like that. I understand stuff happen, but I feel like it's ways of having effective communication to be able to make me feel better if something do go wrong. I don't think that was okay. Like, for example, like you said, they had you doing tickets and stuff. How much time does it really take for them to be like, "Hey, Black Stan, man, can you help us out with X, Y, and Z at this event?" It don't take that. It don't take no time to be able to say something to somebody.
Right, beforehand. They could have did it beforehand, but I'm
Right.
telling you, this stuff happened the day of. Like I'm there.
Everything was happening. Everything except what was supposed to be happening was happening.
Unacceptable.
I mean, a lawn chair. I mean, you had people that was behind the thing. They had their own private tents.
Yeah.
They got private tents. Like, I can't even
Private tents. And then the lights come on in the tent when it get dark. Like we was out there all night. Marching bands coming in. It was just
like who ordered this?
It was different. I thought they would had a curfew. Kids wasn't even supposed to be there.
The city came. They're like, oh yeah, these gates ain't even supposed to be up. I'm like, the gates ain't supposed to be up. But how y'all didn't know that? Like, but it was a lot of infighting from the top level, and it trickled down into people like me. Like I did it off the street. I did what I did. I didn't have to do it, but I had it like, hey, this is my opportunity for me to get exposure, for me to do what I need to do for my brand. That's the only reason why I stuck around and really did what I did, because I was looking at it like, and it did help me. It didn't help me like the way I wanted it to, but it did help me.
So Stan, in those instances, right, when it comes to your brand and your name and things like that, do you necessarily risk bad business and sometimes remove yourself from the situation, or do you just, what do you do?
No, I have a line. I definitely have a line, and that's the reason why I've kind of fell back. I mean, I still post on my pages, I still do stuff, but that's why I haven't went as hard as I did when I first started. I had to kind of shift backwards, not shift backwards, but and just cruise right now and just peep out everything, because there's a lot of like he was saying, like my man saying, it's a lot of bad business going on out here. A lot of people are trying to just, I won't say scam, but it's just they make it all about them. When you deal with people that want to help people as a whole, and it's genuine. That's one of my key words, just genuine. I mean, money aside, we're all going to make money, but what are you really trying to get out of this besides money? I don't really get the response back that I want or that I like to hear. So that's why I've left a lot of things alone, and that's why I don't deal with. I can. It's almost to the point, like I said, I haven't been doing this that long, but I can kind of smell something's wrong with this whole situation before I even get into it. It's like Stan, you want. So who's promoting it? Who the DJ? Who you got? And those questions might not even mean nothing. I'm not looking for the answer. I'm looking for the way the answer comes to me.
Okay.
A lot of stammering and, well, no. It's cap. And the last few times that I did that, it was exactly what I thought it was. And I was mad at myself about it. Putting my name on events or throwing my logo here and saying I'm going to be at this place. And I get there and it's just, it's a cluster, So I had to fall back on that. So not saying I'm smart and I'm going to catch everything before it happens, but a lot of the promoters and a lot of people that put these things together make it real easy for me to differentiate from, well, this is going to be a good business opportunity, a good networking venture, or, man, this ain't nothing but a clout festival. And everybody in here is in for themselves. That's one thing I can say one thing I say about myself is that I'm in it not just for myself. I'm in it for the people who I say that I'm going to help out. So,
all right, I got a quick question. Do you ever see Baltimore becoming like Atlanta in the music scene?
I've hoped and prayed for that for the past 15 years, maybe. Just like I see it happening, but I also see it dwindling. I had high hopes for it a few years back. It was like we was taking steps towards that, but now we've taken like a long stride back. Like we just got knocked back a few years with what's going on here in Baltimore. But I can't fully put that on the artist. I can't. It's just the way my city is. It's just how they receive music, and it's not, like I said, it's not just all about the talent. Because if it was about the talent, it'd be a lot more artists that would have been broke the glass ceiling, and Baltimore would have been the melting pot that it should be, as far as like in Atlanta or New York or Texas. You know what I mean? We're a small city, which should make it even better. But too many times, hood politics can mess up professional aspirations.
Yeah, they always killing all the good artists, man.
I mean, not just that, but it's just like, all right, so you're from, I should say you're in the city. You're from where you at. I'm from where, and me and my crew from where I at. We won't support you, not because your music is not good, but just because you from over such and such. Oh, he from over there. You know what I'm saying? You go down to Texas and Atlanta, stuff like that. Oh, I'm from zone this place, and that person from over zone something. But when that person go to perform, everybody from all the zones are there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baltimore, you have some people, oh, he from over there, from Emerson. He from over west. I'm not gonna support him. And you see it at showcases. You've seen it at showcases. The dudes are coming in with his, like you said, with his 20 people, his entourage. He get on stage, and as soon as he perform,
everybody gone.
You leave.
Yeah.
You know, like I've been out of town, whereas though I've seen people, and I know people are not from the same part of like Philly, for example. You know what I mean? Like this person from North Philly, this person from over uptown. The person from North Philly didn't perform, but him and his crew still stay in the uptown on them there, and they still support and they still bop, and they're like, oh, all right, yeah. Let me get your IG. Like, and they network.
Big shout out to Philly, the state of brotherly love, man.
Yeah, and they network. It's just like they don't base it on a group. They don't base it on a macro. It's a micro. So if I don't mess with a certain person from over there, that's cool. He from over there. But that don't mean that I'm not going to do no business with somebody else from that area. And I think that's one of Moore's biggest plights, is that too many people integrate the hood in with the professionalism and the networking basis. So
what do you think we could do to stop that, for real? Or can it be stopped?
It's gonna take something real strong. And I can't say somebody real strong. It's gonna take a situation that's real strong. I mean, like I said, we have AFRAM here. We had that music festival. That could have been better. If that music festival would have took off like how it should have took off, that could have been out Rolling Loud. That could have been out South by Southwest. It's gonna take a massive event, not just one person, because it's not going to be done by one person. That's just my belief. I don't think it's going to be done by one person. It's going to take a massive event for everybody. Like, you know what, man, listen, don't bring no drama here. Don't bring this. It's all about music. It's about networking. We all can do it. You know what I mean? Because more. It's like we have small labels here in the city, like, that's trying to help artists and stuff like that. And even the label, even having somebody's name attached to you and having a team attached to you don't help. So I'm not going to say there's no hope. I'm just going to say that it has to take, it's going to take a team of people to put on a massive event or something like that for the city. Just like, you know what, let's stop all this dumb stuff. Let's just go ahead and utilize this pipeline, utilize this platform to elevate to the next level. How was it? Go ahead.
No, I'm listening. Go ahead.
I'm like, how is it that other cities can bring out these big wigs? Because we have parties here. They didn't have Boosie down here, Jeezy down here, and stuff like that. But it's in a party scenery. It's just people just partying. But they don't come down here. As far as like you go down to Atlanta, you know what I mean? You got somebody like Jeezy, he a judge. Or you got Big Record, you go up to Philly, they got big record execs from New York. They just take a couple hour drive down to Philly, and they in the building. When is the last time that you've actually, I understand artists, but when is the last time we've seen an event where it was like big execs in the building that probably could get somebody signed?
Right. Well, I mean, I really think that Baltimore is starting to realize that music does bring people together. And I'm saying that because, the mayor, Brandon Scott, actually, just announced that her will be performing at the Charm City Live Music Festival, right? And then you had the AFRAM, you had dancers, you had singers, I think that they're realizing that the arts itself is necessarily bringing Baltimore together, right? But it's like with these festivals, do you also incorporate artists that are too from Baltimore and allow them to have that big stage? Like, you know.
They should, but who's ready for it? Outside of the ones that we've already talked about, the text, maybe the money, stuff like that. Outside of that, see me, I respect those guys wholeheartedly. They're at the top of their game. I like to deal with more artists that are like on the, like I said, you started, you know what I mean, you buy in at the bottom. You know what I mean? I like artists who are they haven't even scratched the surface of what they can do. And I want to see more of them take their profession seriously so they can be the next person to at least attempt to try to break the glass ceiling. So when you talk about those Charm City music festivals, it's okay to, everybody knows her. You know what I mean? Like, that's cool. I mean, but the person that I want to see is one of the people that I'm supporting that always be at these showcases. Shout out to Love and Hip Hop Showcase. Shout out to Rock the Mic Thursdays when they was doing it. Shout outs to Purple Wall Street, Salt Pepper Ketchup, all them showcases that showcase artists, especially the ones that are not really known. That would bring me joy. I need to see more of them on that level because we're going to talk about the Techs, we're going to talk about the Jakes, we're going to talk about the Young Mooses. The reason why Atlanta, the reason why New York and Texas and even Cali are how they are because they have more artists that are up on that level.
Mm-hmm.
That have grown to the next echelon, that take their business seriously, that do what they need to do, that's not half-assing it. So to go back to that question you said, do you think it's ever going to change? It will change once we get more of these artists to take their profession seriously. On all aspects, not just the performance side, recording side, but like I said, the three things I talked about. You know what I mean? Get your social media, plug into your social media, more posts, more of that. You know, get your EPK together, and just remain humble. How you gonna get big headed? You only known over the east side. Nobody know you past Greenmount. Like
Past Greenmount.
Yeah, no, but to you're a star because you know what I mean. You got recognition, but what is that recognition? All you got some thousand followers from this city. They recognize you, but do they acknowledge you?
Mm.
And that's what comes with, that's the fans and the followers thing. Like your fans will acknowledge you and say, you know what? I'm gonna pay the X $1 million or whatever it is for this stream. That's my joint. I play this song every day. But your followers are gonna just hit the heart button and keep it moving.
Right.
How many
exactly.
Yeah, how many times you've seen an artist page where though they might have all these followers, but they have like a few likes and no comments?
I be thinking they be buying their followers when I see that.
Some of them do. And that's another thing that one of the execs told me, and he schooled me to that. He said, Stan, look at this right here. What do you see?
$13, right?
Yeah, I say 60 before the paid verification, before the paid blue checks. We talk to somebody that I know, and this is somebody I knew personally. 65,000 followers. Yeah. Now look at his page. Look at this. And he scrolled through the 12 posts that the guy had on his page. He said, look at this. 25 likes, no comments. Look at this. 15 likes, 3 comments. This man got 65,000 followers, right? I said, yeah. You got 5% of your total followers should be interacting on your page every time you post. At least 5%. You know what I mean? Like you might have somebody that got 11,000 followers. Every time they post something, they getting 2,000, 3,000 likes. You know what I mean? 40 to 50 comments, even if it's just a fire emoji and stuff like that. That's because them people are engaged with the person is doing. You can almost sniff out sometimes these bought pages because it's like they have thousands of followers, but nobody's interacting when this person posts. So why are they following you?
Make a valid, very valid point. You got me looking at our analytics like, are they? Yeah. So definitely a valid point with that. But Black Sand, another question I necessarily have for you is, what is one thing that your brand venture did that you didn't expect?
Oh, well, one thing not this soon. I didn't think it was going to happen this soon, but it got me, like I said, it got me close to people who, I guess I was put it like, they got motion. They got motion that actually out there getting people signed, they're closing deals, they're negotiating deals. I mean, and I mean, I don't clout chase, but I could be somewhere now and be like, oh shoot, I know you Black Stan. Like, huh? Like, I'm still getting used to the notoriety and people recognizing who I am. Mm-hmm. So even if they recognize me through watching my post and watching my personal page, or me being connected with people that, you know, like when I did an interview with my man, shout out to my man Stan the Man with Ugly Money Entertainment down there with Nietzsche. You know, so after I did the interview with him, it was just like I started having people just tapping in with me from Atlanta. Same as when I did an interview with my man Hennessy Kev, who's he's a consultant, but he's right there next to Freeway. They was just at the BET Awards. Shout out to my man Freeway and Hennessy, you know, even though I was already known of it. It gives you a certain validation and stamp that I didn't think that I was going to get this early in doing what I was doing. I think it was going to take me like a long time to do it or a while to do it. But it's like, no, it's like now I can go to different cities and I have validation there already.
That's what's up. That's definitely what's up. Being able to go to another city and they're still showing you love. So do you think that the cities that you've been in, do you believe that they've shown you more love than your own city?
Yeah. Yes. And I'll speak on that. Like, I don't want to be an asshole about it, but I've been, you know, when I started going up to Philly, shop, my man Kravitz, CME Morning Show. You know what I mean? When I first started doing Black Stan, I didn't really have no media outlets down here to tap into to try to hone my craft or to try to learn off of. You know, and he brought me up there and I started sitting in on the show and then I started co-hosting and being on the show with him. Nobody was, you know, I was, you know, you seen me, I was down at the Rock the Mic Thursday. I was just a guy in the corner, you know. But then after I started venturing out and doing things like that, you know, I come back to the city and I'm the prodigal son. Oh, she's there. Yeah, y'all seen you. Well, you was up in Philly. Well, you doing the damn thing. I'm like, yeah, but I was doing it down here before I went to Philly. You know, so you definitely, and even if I go back up there or if I go to New Jersey, you know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of situations you don't get recognized until they see somebody else messing with you. It happens a lot.
I feel that. I feel like that with the podcast too. Not to cut you off.
No, you good.
I feel like that with the podcast. Like, it's been so many times where we reach out to people and all that because, you know, we know a lot of people and we connected in a lot of different ways and in different cities and all that type of stuff. And we try to give like the people in our city the platform first to come on here. So it's like the podcast is doing way better than we expected this early. We only had 10 episodes and we didn't already accomplish a lot of things. And you kind of see it now. People going to wait until somebody's super big get on here and then they're going to want to be a part. It's like you kind of already, like she said earlier, the cookout thing. Yeah, but it's crazy that it's like that because that kind of builds like resentment. It makes you feel like, well, you wasn't with me shooting in the gym, so why should I, you know, and a lot of people be feeling like that for real. It's hard to not have them feelings when you reached out to somebody before you were something, and then once you become something, now they feel like, oh, all right, now I can rock with you.
It's okay to have those feelings, though. I'm here to tell you, it's okay to have those feelings. But what sets us apart from those people that want to ride the coattails after the fact is that we stay professional all the way throughout the process. So if I can say anything to you, just keep, like I said, number 3, stay humble. That goes for us too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand that you guys didn't want to get on my joint when it was here, but now it's here. But now that I'm here, it might come with a little tax to it.
Okay.
So be humble, but stay professional. What I mean by professional is situations like that, where those like where you at, where you are now, and then when you are at later on. Oh yeah, well, you know what I mean. It's a tag to come. We're going to the show. You know, they stay booked. I should say you guys stay booked. And someone said, I really want to come on. Oh yeah. Well, holler at your homeboy manager.
Yeah.
get the paperwork together, and tell him that this is the fee. But the thing about that is, once y'all make it to that level, y'all have a body of work behind y'all. Where though, if y'all did, you know what I mean, you're not gonna charge every artist. Of course, the top artists, you know what I mean, you want them on your platform. But like we're saying, the ones that, you know what I mean, when you were down here, they didn't want to mess with you. Now you up here, now they want to use your exposure. They couldn't get it on their own.
Right.
But it's still gonna come with a tax.
Right.
Even if it's something small, like, you know, it's $100 to get on there. Damn, they charging $100 days. They used to be free. You used to, ain't used to be.
Yeah.
Hey yo, oh yeah, big shout out to Corey Jones in the comments. Basically saying that Baltimore artists need to dare to be different, for sure. Experiment with different flows, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
Earlier,
But you know what the crazy part is, y'all? People be like, I'm different. I'm a different kind of artist. And even when people ask them, you know, well, what makes you different? People like, just cause. But they still in the same flow. They doing the same type of cadence. They doing the same beats, same everything. You know, it's like it's kind of like a factory.
Like Soulja Boy, he stole my whole flow.
So yeah, man, just it's easy to be the same, y'all. But if we was the same, if everybody in this world was the same, the world would be boring. So definitely try to dare to be different, y'all.
But to piggyback off of what you were saying, and like what I was saying earlier, as far as like they see the blueprint, they think that's why they follow the same flow. Like, dang, he got in using that type of music, he used that type of song, that type of beat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try to do it like that because I'm gonna get enough. He got in through the door his way. So you have to find a way to get into your door your way. Don't try to emulate the copycat EPs and albums and projects is at an all-time high. I remember I can go get a Nas CD, go get a Mobb Deep CD, go get some Wu-Tang, all New Yorkers. 3 different types, and they all got New York accents, everything, but it was 3 different types of music. Mobb Deep and Wu-Tang didn't sound the same to me. And it was Nas was different from all of them. So it was like they rap with the same accent, not even the same cadence, but I can't, if I was to go to, if we still have Sam Goody and FYE and CDs was still out and all these artists was putting their CDs in the stores, I go pick up this person's CD, and play them all back to back and just listen to all of them, have a listening party. I felt like I just listened to 30 songs, 10 songs in each track. I just listened to 30 songs of the same artist. That's how it feels nowadays. It's the same stuff. It's just, now I will say it is artists out there right now that are doing it, but they don't get the recognition they need because of the culture here now. The culture, that's why I said we need a big event that switches up the culture, that focuses on multiple platforms. Because usually it's like you said, we have the mixtape. I mean, we have the club music festival that went down. We have R&B and soul or jazzy festivals and stuff like that. We need something that where though every other set or every different set is something different. We got a hip hop artist, we got an R&B artist, you know, we got somebody that does, I know an artist right now that does dance hall. You know, it's almost like a Sean Paul type, Beanie Man type thing. You know, he's Jamaican, but you know, he's from here, but he does that type of music. To where as though you're not gonna change everybody's mind, but you can kind of bring people out of the closet that probably already like that type of music. And it's just if all I'm going to is hip hop festivals, I'm only going to pop the hip hop festivals. Even though I like dancehall music, even though I like jazz and R&B, I don't get to hear it. I don't get to go to those events because those events are not being, you know, they're not being produced to us. So that's why I say a big event, something where it's like a 2-3 day festival is just, you know what I mean? Like you said, like how was like something like when you went to the Roots picnic, was it all hip hop?
Oh no. Even when I went to the reggae festival this weekend, it wasn't all reggae. They had Bone Thugs and Harmony there.
Right.
Bone Thugs and Harmony not saying not rapping no reggae.
That's what I'm saying. So it's going to take a big event, and like I said, we have AFRAM, but AFRAM is put together by the city. We need a team that's going to put together something that's more organic, because the city is, even though we hear the word city, it's a bunch of people in offices that probably don't even know these people. They just know the city likes these people. We're going to bring them out because it's going to sell tickets and it's going to bring revenue to the city. Like, no, we need to have somebody that's in the trenches that know that we can have a lineup and we can bring all new fresh faces. It's cool to bring down a her. It's cool to bring down whoever you're going to bring down. But my thing with that is have a little day or have a set to where though it's like everybody likes something new. Everybody likes new stuff, but nobody wants to support it until they see somebody else do it.
Oh, from what I hear, Stan, it seemed like that you should be the spokesperson and get a team together and put
No,
something on for the city.
nope. Nope. Mm-mm.
See, and that's look, you don't think that other people have that same nope. So that's why nothing has happened.
No, it's just that I'll say I could be part of that.
Mhm.
Only reason why I'm saying nope now is because I'm well, for one, we're on the podcast. But if y'all are listening, to the people who are listening, if y'all serious about it, yeah, like we can do it. It's just that I haven't met too many people that share my same beliefs.
Okay.
And in a position, I mean, nope, like I could be the trailblazer, but then you're gonna have a lot of people behind me that's lagging and it's just coattailing because I'm doing it. You know what I mean? I don't want that. I want everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody in the brain trust their own say so and a strong mindset. Like we're all gonna together. Like I don't want to be the smartest person in the room.
Me either. I hate that.
Right.
Yeah. So
Right.
I need to be able to learn from you. That's why I appreciated this interview. I kind of like sat back and listened most of the time because even if you're not an artist, like we talk business and you got to have a like the business side is the best side. That's the side you need to know more than anything. So that's why I kind of been sitting back, being a sponge, just like kind of soaking up the knowledge that you have and you've been giving us on this episode. I appreciate it.
I appreciate y'all. I mean, it was passed down to me. I mean, like reach one, teach one.
Right.
And I'm
Yeah.
still going to be a sponge. Like I said, like I'm like conversation. I'm looking back and forth with this person, looking that person talk. I look back at that person, like, oh yeah, okay. And just watching the right people do the right things. I just been staying away from like the bad business and the people that are just trying to milk whatever they can out of a situation. As far as like, it's just no, it's about the money. Like I just hate when people make everything. Because I mean, come on, let's be honest. Like everybody wants to make money. I mean, you guys on air now. The NewEra410Podcast is making money off of broadcasting. But in the meantime, you're networking, you're helping artists and anybody else that gets on your podcast ascend to a next level, and with hopes that that person not necessarily has to, but has the business prowess to know, hey, when I get somewhere, I'm taking this DJ with me, I'm taking this podcast with me, because that's going to be my, when I want to get an interview, I have a trusted media source. I have a trusted DJ that's going to play my track. I have a trusted producer that's not going to mess up my music or hold my beat and stuff like that. And that's one of the problems here in the city is just trust.
Nice.
She got the Lamar Jackson jersey back there. Big trust.
Oh,
Big
you
trust.
know it.
We need that big trust in the city, and it's not no trust in the city. It's just me. It's for me and my team. We got it out the mud. Oh, y'all got it out the mud. Y'all not out the mud yet. I'm not. I'm not out the mud right now. I'm filthy.
Yeah.
And I don't mind.
Okay.
But I'm gonna come out clean. You see what I'm saying? But right now, like, we in a networking phase. I love this. And to tell you, like, there's more to this is my first time being interviewed.
What? Oh, well,
That is with us.
We are beyond honored that New Era Podcast 410 has had Black Stan's first. You hear me? I said first interview.
You do the interviewing, so that's what I said. This is my first time getting that. So,
especially because you got a podcast yourself, so you probably always interviewing everybody else.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Stan always asking a question.
Yeah, like I said, yeah, I'm a sponge. Like I just be wanting to know, like, because but when I ask those questions, I have those questions as an artist. Like I tell artists, I say, because I've done a lot of artists' first interviews, and they'll tell me, like, this is my first interview. I say, that's good, because I'm like a showcase. I'm trying to help you practice. You know what I mean? If I'm your PR guy, your first PR opportunity, then yes. Like, so when you get to the big wigs and you on a red carpet, somewhere at the BET Awards, and somebody put a mic to your face, you're comfortable. I've been here before. I done done.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's about comfortability.
Right. So Stan, let us know how we could get on your podcast. So anybody else who may be interested could get onto your podcast.
Oh, sure. I mean, all you got, my slogan is I'm around. That's my slogan. So, you go to Black Stan or Black Stan Entertainment. I even have a several questions with Stan page, but I usually put clips and stuff of my interviews on there. I also have a YouTube page, but just DM me. I mean, DM Black Stan or Black Stan Entertainment. You set up the interview with me. We set a date and we go from there. You know
Awesome. That's good stuff. We appreciate you very much for tuning in with New Era 410 Podcast. We thank you very much. But very quickly, if there's a final thought that you would have, it's your time to share.
My final thought. That's like Jerry Springer. Well, my would be to, well, it's not even a final thought. It's to say, stop being so closed in. Stop being selfish. Don't be afraid to try something that you've never done before, because I never thought that I was going to do media before I did media. So, no fear. I'll leave it in 2 words, no fear.
No fear. You heard it, y'all. Right here with Black Stan on New Era 410 Podcast with myself, I am Amore, and with Mason. And don't forget, y'all, we got merch. We got everything you need. It's ready to go, ready to wear. Order something. The pre-sale is going on right now.
I need a pair of them shorts.
You definitely do. So make sure you DM us about them shorts and we can get them right over to you. In the meantime, y'all, we thank y'all for tuning in to us. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like and comment. Yo, and if you ain't subscribed to New Era 410 Podcast, that's crazy about you. So tune in for next time, 8:00 tonight. We got another episode, y'all.
Yes, sir. Thank you again, Black Stan.
All right, thank y'all.
Thank you. Okay, my boy.
You did a great job. I got to run to my job real quick and fill out some paperwork.
All right.
All right.